starting just now, and to do that, allow me to just appreciate the high table. We have our NAPSA board chairperson here, Mr. Shipango Mtejo. We also have our director general from NAPSA, Mr. Miangwa, and we also have acting director projects, as Mr. Levin Mwanza. We have our director of finance in front here, who is also here, Mr. Kopenga. We also have our CEO coming from the NCC, Professor there. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. So this is how we'll proceed. We'll ask the Director General to welcome all of us here, just brief opening remarks. Thereafter, we'll call upon the NAPSA board chairperson to speak to us or to do the press briefing, and we'll take a few questions, and then we shall invite you for some snacks outside. So that's how we'll proceed. And having said that, ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues from the press and others that are coming from the different sectors, we really appreciate. Thanks for coming with us. Allow me now to call upon the Director General to give us his opening remarks. DG.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, once again. Good morning.
Are we there?
Good morning. Thank you very much. Mine is just to welcome you here, and as we try to share some information, share information with you, so that you will be able to inform the nation and all the concerned stakeholders. So without much ado, I think I'll just invite the chair to dive straight into the press briefing. Chair.
Good morning, colleagues from the media. Of course, with the brief protocol that has been laid before us this morning, our statement will be quite brief, but like as you mentioned, thereafter, of course, take a few questions. Because of the nature of this briefing, I will read the statement word for word so that we make it very clear. So this is a statement that I, as chair of the board, on behalf, of course, of the Board of Trustees and management, is making on our decision as an authority to close the Society Business Park. This is being made today, the 27th of August, 2024. The National Pensions Scheme Authority wishes to inform the media that are gathered here this morning, and through you, the public, that we have taken a very painful, costly, but necessary decision to close the Society Business Park with immediate effect, and until, of course, further notice. We have taken this decision as a precautionary measure, essentially to protect and safeguard human life. Following the structural failure of some of the columns at the office block, which is part of the Society Business Park, in October 2019, the office block was then vacated and remedial actions taken thereafter. The authority commissioned a comprehensive assessment of the structural integrity of the entire Society Business Park development in November 2023, last year. The detailed report that we received in July 2024 has revealed that some parts of the development, namely the office block and the parquet, which you may refer to as the car park, are structurally not sound and therefore not safe for continued occupants or use. The assessment has further revealed that part of the society business park, which is the retail mall, for use, but needs attention to address the few identified structural defects. The decision to close the entire business park also arises from the fact that the parquet and the office block, which are not safe for continued occupants, are directly linked to the hotel and the retail mall through common facilities. Closure of the parquet and the office block, which has been recommended by the consultants, will result in impeded access to the mall and the hotel. Further, services to the hotel and the mall will be severely affected, making the two facilities inoperable. Therefore, the board has resolved to close the entire business park, comprising the parquet, the retail mall, and of course the hotel tower. Noting, of course, that the office block was closed in 2019. This is in order to protect the well-being and safety of the tenants and the public. The authority wishes to announce that all current tenants at the Society Business Park have been informed and given notice to vacate the premises within 10 days as a safety measure. All motorists, customers, and tenants who use or visit the Society Business Park and parquet are hereby informed that the entire business park will not be available until further notice. The board and management deeply regrets this unfortunate development and will do everything possible to ensure that we lessen the negative impact of this development, especially on the tenants and the staff working at the business park. Some of the measures that we will implement in this regard include the following. 1, refund all the security deposits to the tenants, those that have made those security deposits. 2, refund all advance rentals that have been paid or payments that have been made. 3, assist to identify alternative trading spaces for some of the tenants. We have also deployed extra security to guard and protect the business park to prevent any damage to property and avert any unwarranted activities. We wish to state that the authority is taking serious and decisive action against anyone found in contractual, legal, or any violation that has led to the current state of affairs. The authority is in the process of determining the total financial loss resulting from this unfortunate development. As we explore development options and the way forward with the business park, the public will be kept informed. Meanwhile, the authority has since set up an ad hoc committee comprising members of the board and, of course, spearheaded by management to deal with all the issues arising from the development. For any queries or clarification questions, please contact meaning yourselves as members of the press or indeed the public, our director in charge of investments, and I'm sure contact details will be given. And I think there's a number that has been given, which is 0211 395 000. I thank you and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair, for the statement. Colleagues, we will now solicit for questions, clarifications, or indeed additions from you, my colleagues, members of the press, should there be any. I have seen 2 hands. Is there anyone else? Okay, 3. So we'll start with you, my colleague. You introduce yourself and the media house where you're coming from, and then we move behind and the lady here, then we'll get the other sets of questions. Please so introduce yourself, your name, and where you're coming from. Please proceed.
Good afternoon. My name is Ombe Chanda from Prime TV. I just wanted to find out from the inception of the construction works, were the engineers not consulted over these works, and why has it taken so long for you to actually come up with this decision now?
Right, behind there, the lady. Proceed. Your name and where you're coming from, media house. Thank you. Yes, let's have you, madam, please. Your name and the media house where you're coming from.
Thank you. My name is Prudence from Diamond TV. In 2019. Sorry, then the mic keeps going off. When there was that collapse in 2019, there was a recommendation that the building should not be occupied. And if anything, the engineers were suggesting the entire building be brought down. So I'd just like to find out, why did you decide to go against the advice that was given by the engineers? And what's the way forward? Are you going to do the same patching that were done last time? Or you might consider another option? Thank you.
So maybe let's have those 3 questions responded to, then we'll come back for the other set of questions.
I'll of course invite PG and Director in charge of projects to chip in for some of those issues. I'll just address maybe the issue of why we didn't take decisions in 2019. I think for your information, at that particular time, it was only the office park that was assessed and found to have. That's why the focus of the assessment was, and that's what was recommended, and for that reason a decision was taken to vacate everybody from the office park. So the office park has been vacant since then, and no one has used it. So basically it was in accordance with the decisions and recommendations of the consultants that we engaged in. Some remedial works, like I've mentioned in the statement, were done, but it was still not felt to be have been adequate. And what we decided then as a board and management last year was to do a comprehensive assessment of the entire complex, meaning the parquet, the retail mall, and even the hotel. Because then what was only done was the office park. But we decided to do everything, and therefore this assessment that we did just what we thought it allow us to continue
Thank you very much, Chair. Of course, we are considering options, and we are going to seek further expert advice on what needs to be done to the affected parts of the structure. You were talking about demolition. Those are part of the options that are available, but we need expert advice. You can imagine the complication council and everyone make sure the police make sure that we have a secure site for whatever works we decide to do. I hope that covers it. There are another one with this.
All right, so I hope we are satisfied, my colleagues from the press, with those responses. Yes.
My question hasn't been answered, sorry. I asked about engineers. Were they consulted from inception?
Right. We'll have Professor Pick.
Thank you very much for that question. I think you have to understand that for each and every project that is done, from the time the pyramids were done in Egypt 5,000 years ago, architects, engineers, and other master builders are always involved. So even for that project, from inception, the design stage, and all these stages, engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, and other professionals to do with service, fittings, electricity, air conditioning were all involved. Thank you.
Right, thanks. Let me get the other set of questions. Yes. Madam Esther, you had already asked the question. Is that a complete?
It's a follow-up question to a response given from the question from Diamond TV. So Chair is saying that the office park has been vacant since 2019. So what was the plan there? Just to keep it like that, or were there any other plans for it? Thank you.
Sorry. I think we take three, then you respond.
So we will take three. Let's have another question.
My name is Kalunga Mampe from Millennium Radio. I didn't find out. There was a conversation around the sale of Society Bank. And now, with what has been brought in, or what you're announcing today, what happens to that particular transaction? Because someone came and said to say that transaction was actually done in 2020 somewhere.
All right, thanks. Proceed with your question.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Joseph Banda from Prime TV. I just wanted to get your clarity. In your engagement with your sitting tenants, is the 10 days notice to vacate the facility adequate enough for them to move out? And how has it been welcomed?
Thank you.
All right, I think we've taken the three questions. Beginning with the aspect of the office park, I think we did indicate that that time the assessment was only done to the office park, and we needed, therefore, because the building is interconnected, it was important that we do a comprehensive assessment of the entire structure. And of course, that it took long to do the contracting and take decisions until, of course, we got the report in July last month, which covered the entire business park, and that's what forms the decision, or the basis of the decision that we have taken now. With regards to the tenants, of course, asked DG and my colleagues that are here. According to the leases that we have, and also writing on the fact that this is an emergency, not only in the leases, but the fact that this is an emergency. I think where we stand, particularly as a board and management, is that if anything happened and we lost life, for us that's much more of a graver concern than anything else. And with regard to whether the tenants, so within an emergence of this nature, according to the tenants agreements that we have, the 10 days is what is provided for in an event of an emergency. Whether it's enough, of course, we can use my colleagues and individuals.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Yes, this is something that we are engaging with the tenants. So we want to do something with much more control than second environment. So whatever inputs our tenants will be giving us, we take into consideration and see how best we can manage the unfortunate situation. So it's not something
Shall we get the last set of questions? Yes, ma'am. Now put something as well.
So yes, I'm still following up on some questions. So, in your view, was it wise to let people continue to operate in the building as it was being assessed for safety? As the first follow-up question. My second follow-up question is, how long does the building have? From what you're saying, it sounds like it might collapse. So how long potentially before that could happen according to your expert? I assume that could be in the report. Thank you.
About the sale, the purported sale, society pack.
No, it's not the question. I think that wasn't paid.
All right, thank you. Maybe I can go back to the sale. The sale was done in 2019. That was between Zambia National Building Society, who sold the business park to NAPSA. So that sale was done and concluded then. I'm sure if you followed the events that led to the sale, first of all, NAPSA went into the society business park on a long lease for 20 years. But at some point, then it was decided that actually the entire, first of all, a special purpose vehicle was created then, into which then NAPSA invested on a risk basis for 20 years. Then a decision then was taken that, in fact, it was wise to buy it all completely. So that was done, and that's it. It was that way last time. So the sale is not happening now. The sale was then. That's when it was sold. So it's a NAPSA property. I know this decision we are taking because it is our property. Thank you.
So, colleagues, we just get.
Oh, yes, Gilly? I think the question that was raised as to why too long and why we didn't allocate people. Like you get the explanation from the chair. What we needed is a comprehensive assessment of the structure. Some of those structures, like the hotel, have been standing for I don't know how long. It was constructed many years ago. So we recognize the fact that there is a new structure and an old structure. The need was, up to the time we did the comprehensive report, we have only had focus on the site that was affected by the collapse of the dam. So the idea was to just make sure that we can make a decision that takes care of the entire construction site. And that's what happened. After the consultant gave us a report, the chair is saying, for certain reasons, remember he mentioned that the office tower, the hotel, is not the part that is affected in the manner that we're explaining, and a little more. But out of precaution, we decided that it's better we shut it down, complete whatever we need to complete, and then allow people to come back in. So it has been a process. It's not something that we can decide in 1 hour. This is a tough and difficult decision. There's going to be financial loss on both sides. There are people's lives who depend on selling in that facility, and now they are going to be disrupted. So it's not something that you take without having, it's not a decision you make without having all the information and the figure.
Thank you so much. Yes, Professor?
I think Esnat asked a very interesting question, in the sense that she's asking how long before the building collapses. I don't think we are saying the building will collapse. What we are saying is we are taking precautions because that building, even as we are talking, there's a possibility it can collapse. Today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So we are taking precautions to ensure that we are 100% sure that this building is safe for human occupation.
Professor, thank you so much. I will now take the last 3 questions. My colleagues from the press. Thereafter, we will close our press briefing. Is there anyone who would want to speak? Yes, can I have a second hand?
I've seen one. Do we have another one who want to speak? Okay, apparently you are the one to proceed.
Okay, I just related to the reconstruction when it was being done. Did risk assessment was on your part? Did you really look into this? Because it seems like the time that you are about to buy the building, these things were already there, and these are pensioners' money that you were spending. Was due diligence done before you got into this transaction and bought the building?
Or issues of risk assessment, was that done?
Yes, at the time, those that were taking the responsibility of taking decisions did do risk assessment. But for a building, some of the inherent defects only manifest after you've done a thorough review and a thorough assessment. So I think what we can say at this stage, at that particular time, when decisions were taken to buy the asset or to buy the property, decisions of that nature were based on what was seen at the time, were based on the information that was provided by the people that were selling, and of course the due diligence that was done by NAPSA. I think the records are clear that yes, all the risk assessments were done. But like I mentioned, I'm sure this prof will be able to come in. The damn structural challenges come in after some years when the building has settled down. Because you remember when the sale was, like we explained, NAPSA went in when the building was under construction as part of the special purpose vehicle, and then later decided to buy it. So it was the time when the building was being constructed all the way to the time it was being completed. At the time of being completed, it became an NAPSA asset, and like I mentioned earlier on as well, that at times for the building to settle down and for you to then begin to see structural defects, at times it can take a number of years. And also the need to do a thorough and comprehensive assessment, which we only did last year, for which we are getting reports now. Thank you.
Right. Thank you
so much. Colleagues, as has been mentioned already, this now marks the end of our press briefing today. And I just want to thank the chairperson of the NAPSA Board of Trustees, Mr. Shpango Mteto, Director General NAPSA, Mr. Miango Miangwa, Acting Director Projects, Mr. Mountain Mwansa, and our Director of Finance, not forgetting the CEO from NCC, Professor Paul Makasa. Thank you so much, and my colleagues from the press, thank you so much for coming through. And I think this press briefing going forward is very important for us, so that we don't speculate, but we have factual information. Very key, and this is why we have you here. Thank you so much. We have some snacks outside, colleagues, and this now marks the end. My name is Collins Mieka.